Welcome to Go Get Us Podcast, a podcast about we haven't quite decided yet. We're going to keep doing it anyway. I'm Colby.
And I'm a Renaissance painter that specifies in big women with big boobs and even bigger wieners. You can call me Felix.
Man, I watch art restoration YouTube. Do you know how happy it would make me to see someone like scraping old varnish and like having to touch up like a modern fucking, oh yeah, I drew fucking, I don't know, this anime character with like a huge wiener and like just also like 480 pounds. Like that would be one of my favorite things ever, especially if they were just talking about it really seriously. Like, oh yes, this is from Francisco Paulo. It was painted in 1643.
It's just like it's like a realistic statue, but the head is like the anime head, and it's just huge, just giant mommy milkers, and just a big erect dong.
You fucking say that, but like, so I went to an art museum one time, and in the art museum, no joke, there was a like 7-foot tall anime girl statue. And she was like grabbing her boobs and milk was coming out of her nipples and it was swirling around her. And that was a sculpture in an art museum.
What art museums are you going to?
Dude, I don't know what was going on there, but like that was the weird, it was that, and there was you know how there was that one piece of art that was a banana taped to a wall?
Yes! Yes!
So,
oh my God, yes.
In the same room that they had a titty milk squirter, they also had a trash bag in the corner with a note on top of it that said, trash number 3. And I said, what in the fuck? What in the fuck is this?
They're like, yeah, it really shows how the world is and the real intricacies of man.
Yeah, this is. Listen, we're gonna. Okay, so to be fair, there's a. There it is. God, I found it, and it's horrific to look at.
Send it to me.
Oh yeah, you know I am.
Oh God,
there you go.
Yes.
And you can tell this picture was taken in an art museum.
Wait, I gotta get on my phone. I gotta see this closer. Oh.
Listen, I need to get up in here.
There is no way. There's no way that this is real.
No, and the eyes are fucking terrible.
No.
Like this, it honestly, there's a number of them, by the way. I'm looking, and there's at least 2.
Oh, there are.
And this was done by, like, actually, if I'm not mistaken, a really famous artist called Takashi Murakami.
So it looks like she's jumping rope with her, like, boob milk.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. That is exactly what it looks like.
Oh my God!
And yeah, it's the eyes are unsettling. The hair is a nightmare.
Do you know those art books from like How to Draw Anime by like Chris, what's his name?
Oh yeah. Oh, I sure do.
That's what that face reminds me of.
Mm-hmm. You are 100% correct.
Badly drawn. Oh no, that one's even worse. The second one's even worse. I have to zoom in on this. I gotta pull out.
Well, and this artist is super famous. He's like he collaborates. No. Yeah, I know. He collaborates with like high profile brands like Vans, like Gucci. Like he's a well sought after artist.
I want this on my shoes. Just
right. And he this is
gonna haunt me.
So that's the fucking statue, but like his main thing is doing this like happy face inside of a flower, and then he like has done collaborations for like Doraemon, and fucking. Yeah. So like all of his other art, I'm super into. I love like hyper colorful stuff.
Did he do this as a joke? Like this can't be like This can't be for, like, he was like, yes, I'm very proud of this.
Great question. I don't know.
Has he come out and said anything? Like, I'm man.
Has he apologized to me for this?
I'm gonna see the face in my dreams. It's unsettling. It's
yeah, it's not great.
There's no way he did that with a serious like intention. There's no way. There's no way. I am. Oh
yeah.
I've drawn questionable things, but on purpose. Just I just want to know if this was on purpose or a joke. And that's all I want to know.
Okay, okay, it has to be. I'm positive that this is a joke.
Okay.
And here's why.
Okay. All right.
Because he has another statue, with someone that looks kind of like Cloud, and he's doing something very similar but with cum. So. And I am going to send you this. Someone paid $15 million for this. I do need you to know that someone paid $15 million for a giant life-size statue of Cloud. It looks like Cloud holding up an umbrella of cum above him.
It looks like Joey Wheeler with the cum scythe.
You're right, dude. It looks exactly like Joey Wheeler.
It's Joey Wheeler with a cum scythe. And he, with the hand that's on his wiener, he's pointing at you like, "Hey, you!
You! Look what I found out I can do! I don't need to play no dumb card games no more."
Look at the guy in the back, like he seems very confused about.
Yeah, that looks like a security guard. Imagine just like being a regular security guard, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, we're bringing in the new exhibit today," and he's like, "Oh, cool. I'd love whenever like we change out the stuff in here," and then they fucking wheel in this monstrosity. Like everybody at home, if you want to see this, all you have to do is Google Takashi Murakami statue. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Get your wife. Like this is what I want. Cole, I want you to get your wife and have her make us a Go Get Us Twitter account so we could just post these statues. Just one day.
Just post them. Just get them up. That'll be the first tweet, is that.
No contact.
No, yeah, it's hello, I'm on Twitter now, and just fucking these things. It'd be great.
I'm shocked. What did he make them out of? It has to be like plastic.
It's gotta be, right? Like
he didn't carve this.
Yeah. Can you imagine him like carving this out of stone?
He's like, okay, so not telling anybody what he's doing, right? So he's just like, they're like, all right, what's his name? Takeshi?
Yeah, Takashi.
Yeah. I'm like, Takashi, what are you making? He's like, oh, it's a surprise, and he's starting from the top, and you just see like the pointed kind of hair at the top, and you see like the scythe, and you're like, oh wow, that looks really good so far. I'm real curious, and as like the time goes, he keeps seeing more and more, and he's like, what are you doing? The guy's like, what are you doing?
What?
Like,
yeah.
What is this? Wait.
It's kind of a weird pose that you got going on here. Hey, are you gonna like put something in later? I noticed that he's like holding something in this hand, but not in the other one.
It looks kind of like a liquid coming out of something, but I please just tell me you're gonna add something.
Yeah, you're not surely not, right? Like you're not making a fucking cum statue, right? Tell me you're not doing that, Takashi. And Takashi just like silently,
yeah, I'll say
as if he were like condemned to do this, like Sisyphus is just fucking carving this statue, like
in a trance, losing sleep over this statue, just in a trance, just poking away at it, just every intricate detail, just like have you seen those videos of people like making stuff online where they don't add music, it's just the noise of them like bopping on whatever they're making.
Yep.
Or like the people making the tea videos where all you hear is like the stirring. That's what this man's life is, just sculpting, just and in silence, nothing. No music, no headphones, no nothing. Excuse me, I burped.
Yeah, damn.
Excuse me.
You fucking went for it.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I saw that in an art museum and was immediately like,
it's beautiful. Fucking Squidward shit.
There's a YouTube channel they really like called Philosophy Tube, and she just came out with a video today called like, "Does anybody get art?" And this is what she's talking about. I bet. I haven't seen the video. It's got to be about this statue, about the cum site statue, right? Does anybody get this? She's just genuinely asking for an hour. I've looked at this statue, and I can't imagine anyone who really understands this. Do you understand this? Please contact me.
There has to be some meaning behind it. You don't just make cum statue.
You don't. The thing is, it looks like this must have been like earlier in his career, because now he has like a very distinct fashion style. He's like super hyper colorful, and he's like he like wears crazy hats and stuff. Like he's kind of like an eccentric type personality, and he dresses like that. The picture of him with one of these statues, he's like wearing like a suit, like a normal person. And so like, I'm thinking this is like probably early on in his career, but can you imagine if like the first breakout thing you get as an artist is cum statue?
Is cum bender?
Yeah.
Like, okay. And like the only thing wrong, there's a lot of things wrong with this picture, but the only thing wrong with it is the head. The head is so off from, like, the body is, it looks like a normal man. It looks like a normal human being. Just a human being with a giant cum flow that he's, like, magicking into the air. But then it looks like they took the head off and just plopped an anime head on it.
Okay.
So, like, the body is proportionate. Mm-hmm. And it's sculpted really well, like too well almost.
Yeah, suspiciously well. I'm right there with you.
And then it gets to the neck, and it looks like he sculpted the head maybe after he did the body, because he didn't want anything to happen while he was sculpting everything else, and he plopped the head on, like almost like an action figure, like an Neandroid.
Yep, I'm right there with you.
This is a life-size, like, anime statue. Even the cum, he probably could have sculpted that separate and then had a hole in where the wiener is and just put it in.
He could have just... There's so many things he could have done here.
The shadow of the statue looks like a crow that's getting cummed on. Look at the shadow!
No, you're not wrong. The thing is, as soon as you said it, I went, damn. Damn, it does. It do be looking like that.
I have many more questions, but I can't. I'll be here all day.
Listen, I've got answers for you.
Okay.
So I looked some stuff up. Number one, so it's not a scythe. It's a lasso.
That was my second guess.
And I know this because the title of this statue is My Lonesome Cowboy.
I was drinking.
I'm gonna read the Wikipedia summary for My Lonesome Cowboy.
Hold on, let me take a breath.
Hold on, I need to prepare my body.
I really do. Okay, tell me, please.
Okay.
Please, all right.
My Lonesome Cowboy is a sculpture created in 1998 by Japanese artist Takashi Murakami.
This is way early.
This is very early, yeah. Produced sorry, this sentence is hard. Produced during Murakami's so-called bodily fluids period.
Just like the statue, hard.
When people talk about great artists, they're like, oh yeah, his blue period, his flower period. You know, his bodily fluids period. That's fine. Produced during Murakami's so-called bodily fluids period, the 9.45 foot tall statue.
Oh, wow.
It's 9.5 feet tall, Fee.
That is a fucking big... That's the biggest cum statue I've ever seen.
Listen, I've seen a few, none as big as this.
They pale in comparison. Go on. Go on.
Like its companion piece Hereupon, which is the name of the jump rope titty milk.
Okay, I was right.
Yeah, you were correct. Totally correct. My Lonesome Cowboy is an example of super flat art. An art movement founded by Murakami in the 90s to criticize Japanese consumer culture. The sculpture is noted among Murakami's most famous works. So I guess at the time, he was leading this, like, he was establishing and leading this movement called Super Flat to be like, hey, it's pretty fucking dumb and weird that, like, we're doing all of these, like, weird things with art and how consumerist our society is. So I'm going to take that to the extreme. I'm going to make a giant anime figure of a dude coming, and it's going to be great.
But how does cum lasso encompass that? I was gonna say before you said that I understand art, but
yeah?
I guess I don't, because I don't see how cum lasso encompasses consumerism.
So okay, let me give you like there's a couple of pieces that get hit on here, right? Okay, I'll give you two more sentences. The sculpture is evocative of shunga, or shunga maybe, a type of historic erotic ukiyo-e which depicts figures with exaggerated genitalia and hentai. Murakami hired commercial manufacturers to produce the sculpture in order to maintain fidelity to its otaku source material. So he did specifically say, I'm going to make an anime titty figure, but of a dude with a bunch of, like, with a cum lasso, because I think it's ridiculous that we make a bunch of plastic shit for dumb, like, he probably saw. This is what I imagine. I imagine that he's somebody who's, like, concerned with the environment. He's concerned with art having, like, some sort of, like, deeper meaning and, like, having a personal connection to the art that's being produced. And maybe he's frustrated with, like, not making enough money, or, like, he's frustrated that, like, his art isn't selling out as much as, like, 98, I don't know, Sailor Moon or fucking Naruto or whatever.
Yeah, Sailor and the Seven Balls.
Yeah, Sailor and the Seven Balls. Thank you. Great film. Great film. So he's frustrated. He's just walking around, and then he passes by a shop, and he just sees that there's, like, I'm imagining this fucking, like, 2 foot tall Goku figure that's like $1,000, and he's looking at it, and he's just staring at it, and he goes, this is so fucking stupid. Of course they're gonna make this, but no one's gonna buy it. This is fucking stupid. And as he says that, a man, like, runs by him and, like, stops like a cartoon character and, like, skids on the ground and goes, is that a fucking Goku statue? And then he runs in and purchases the statue and leaves. And Murakami falls on the ground and cries for a full day. And then he's like, I'm gonna make fucking cum lasso. I'm gonna make it.
He's no. Like,
if this is what you fuckers want, I'll make you cum lasso.
So, like, I have a similar theory. Like, he goes into the shop, right? He's down on his fucking luck. Like, his art's not selling. He goes into the shop because he wants to pick me up. He likes anime.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I'm just gonna see if they got manga, see what some of the statues are. This is the 90s. So, like, I want to see if there's, like, some cool Gundam or whatever. But then he happens into the adult, like, section, and he sees, like, a titty statue, like, but like $300, and he's like, they have $300 for this? And, like, the same thing, he sees a guy with, like, 4 of them in his hand, of, like, different fucking made fucking statues, and he's like, oh, he's like, is that easy? And then, like, that puts him on the path of fucking cum lasso.
Mm-hmm.
But life-size.
That set him down the wrong path, and now cum lasso is in his future.
It's like, if they'll pay that much for a 6-inch statue, imagine what they pay for life-size.
Mm-hmm. Which, by the way, again, I would like to remind you, is $15 million. So...
I want to make a statue now.
I'm looking at the reception category now. Let's see. New York Times art critic Roberta Smith wrote that both it and Hereupon mesmerized through an unsettling combination of innocence, carnal knowledge, beauty, exquisite artifice, and arrested movement. Though argue that My Loathsome Cowboy is simplistically macho compared to the more nuanced Hereupon.
There is no deep meaning in this statue.
No!
There is none! Stop it!
Like the deeper meaning to this is I guarantee, like, it, I know it in my bones. It's like, you motherfuckers want to buy an anime titty figure for fucking $1,000? I'll just show you fucking cum rope statue. The
meaning of this is I came in my hand and it fucking rebounded into my hair. That's why it's a lonesome cowboy. You'll never know the true pain.
Yeah, Murakami's like at night sometimes sobs. It's like, I'm the cowboy.
This will forever.
I'm the lonesome cowboy.
Just cum in his hand, anime statue in his other. Just the lonesome cowboy.
God, I cannot, but like, I'm so glad that I unlocked this core memory of seeing this statue. This was in Denver, by the way.
Colorado?
Yeah,
What is this doing in Denver?
Great question. I don't know what it was doing there. It was one of the Hereupon statues, though. Like the anime titty milk statue. And I went, like, I remember, I went to Denver because I was sad. And I spent the weekend in Denver because I was sad. And one of the things that I did, I watched 300 and Grindhouse back to back in a movie theater in Denver. That was, I don't know why I did that, but I also went to an art museum, and that's where I saw this and was like, what in the fuck?
And then it made me happy. That's what he wanted all along.
Yeah, listen, this is what this man wanted.
He brought a smile to your face. Oh, man, I can't. I hate modern art. I hate modern art. And this is coming from a man who, the other day I drew a seductive picture of Sephiroth pouring honey on himself, seducing Winnie the Pooh. Mm-hmm. But I did that as a goof.
No, Fee. That's it's a juxtaposition of like the edginess of being a teen and the innocence of being a child, and the
loneliness of being a man. Just
the alluring nature of the gaze is that's.
You see, the honey is temptation. You see, mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. and Sephiroth, a handsome gay man, is the honey being poured on him makes it so everyone wants to be him or be with him, and Winnie the Pooh is you because you're a fat bear.
Because you're a fat, well, you're a fat little bear.
You're a fat lonely bear. You're a silly little bear. It represents you at home with no pants and only a shirt.
Yeah, specifically you listening to this. I know what you're doing.
I know you're listening to this naked and afraid. The show, season 7. Fucking, I don't know.
Yeah, that's today's sponsor. Naked and Afraid, season 7, coming soon to Discovery Plus.
Get your wiener pierced now. For Naked and Afraid.
Why would you do that? That seems like a liability on Naked and Afraid. Okay.
Get naked and turn the lights out and be afraid.
They're no longer taking survival people and stripping them of everything and putting them in the woods and seeing if they survive. They are just making you get naked and closing you in a dark room and being like, "You scared in there?" And you go, "Yes." And then they record it and they put it on TV.
Okay, I know you didn't mean for that to be something, but that's something.
What?
Did you hear about what's possibly the first like live stream ever back, I think, in the early 2000s, maybe the 90s? So Japan tortured this man basically for a year, right?
Oh, right, yeah.
Did we talk about that?
No, we haven't talked about it on the podcast, but I do know what this is, yeah.
Yeah, so this, like, comedian from back in the day, he was down on his luck, I guess follows an ad, and they're just like, okay, get in this room, now get naked. Mm-hmm. And he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, you're on a game show, and we're gonna film the whole thing, and the only way you can't leave the room or the house or anything, the only thing you can do is take, I think it was like magazine ads and see if you win something, right?
Yep. He had to do that like every day. It was applied to every possible contest.
Yeah, and whatever he won was the only like entertainment or food or anything. So this man was just sitting in his like little fucking room and applying for stuff, and when he won stuff, it was just like it was a gift from God. Mm-hmm. So
the thing is, so the like, because I know what you're thinking. What is going to happen? Like, what is the exit condition for this? It was, number one, he had to go into an apartment and be naked, and the only connection with the outside world that he had was he would get new magazines.
Oh,
and he had like, piles and piles of magazines,
and health and wellness checks.
He had to win $10,000.
Oh yeah,
that was the requirement.
$10,000 worth of stuff. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, his ratings got so high that after he won the $10,000, they were like, "Well, we just can't let him go, and we can't bring in someone new. They'll know the fucking, it won't be genuine." So they gave him clothes, blindfolded him, brought him to a new location. Say, "Okay, do it again, but this time like 1,500 or 15,000," and he was like, "Oh," and then he did it.
Mm-hmm. He did. I think it was 15 months it took him to make $10,000.
Yeah, because he was already a seasoned pro. Just, oh my God, they tortured this man live on TV. He had to eat, like, basically raw fucking rice, and then whenever he won meat, he had nowhere to store it, so he just had to eat it.
Okay. Do you know how this show ends?
Yeah. So, so after he wins the final time, they do the same thing. Mm-hmm. And then they lead him into a room, and he's like, well, I know what they're going to ask me. So he gets naked, and he just sits in the room. And then the walls go down, and he's in front of a crowd, and he's like, what the fuck? And everyone's like, yeah! They're fucking laughing and shit.
Yeah. So this happened to him twice. So he wins $10,000, and they're like, great, good job. This reality TV thing went great. You did great. You've won like a trip. We're going to send you to South Korea. He flies to South Korea. They immediately blindfold him and put him into another apartment and make him do the exact same thing in order to get enough airfare to fly back to Japan.
Oh my God. It's real funny when we say it, but man, it's torture because this man's mind is broken. He doesn't know what reality is anymore. Mm-hmm. And like, he never cut his hair. Like, his nails are long. He has a huge beard, and like, nothing came of it. He was trying to like become famous, and then after that ended, nothing happened. He just faded into obscurity.
Yeah, I mean, he's got, he still appears like in different things if he wanted to. So this is probably the best thing that he could have done, the most relevant thing. In April 2020, he tried to persuade people to cooperate with the self-discipline stay-at-home order during the wake of the initial COVID-19 outbreak by being like, hey, dog, I did this. You can do it. Come on.
God. I mean, that's the smartest thing he could do. Like, that's like genuinely, he's like, listen, I did it. What's your bitch-ass excuse? Just
hey, what the fuck is your problem? What are you doing?
Chad. Fucking Chad moves.
Oh, man. Yeah, I cannot imagine that. But you're right, like, he's not, he hasn't been in many other things. He hasn't done much, up until fucking 2020 when he was like,
when my bitching. Time to shine.
They were like, hey, we have this lockdown order. And he was like, oh, this is it. I've got my second chance right now.
Here comes my second wind. And after that happened, like, he's like, well, I guess I'll go back to my house. Just fucking, like...
He's like, well, there we go. I guess I'll just go back home. Fine.
I wonder what he's doing now.
Yeah, great question. I wonder as well. Like, I kind of want to look it up.
Well, I don't know his name, so I don't even know what I'd search for.
It's Nasubi. Nasubi.
Nasubi.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh my god, I just see the picture of him in the fucking room. Let's see, Nasubi now.
Yeah, he's got, he was in Kamen Rider.
Oh, for real?
He did.
Oh, showed you.
He did some Kamen Rider stuff.
Train Man. Okay, so he kind of did become like a little actor. That did kind of, because he was doing stuff. He was in Kamen Rider a lot, I guess. That opened the Kamen Rider gates. Fucking.
Yeah, I imagine that. Imagine that you're like in a position to where you can give someone a job.
He's a Watcher Man.
And you see this happen to this man, and then you're like, oh, I wonder what's happening to Nasubi. And then you look it up, and you're like, nothing? He's not doing anything?
Yeah. He was in like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 things up until 2013. Now he doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But he was Watcher Man in fucking Kamen Rider. And that's it, man. Like, that's his claim to fame, is his live street torture and Kamen Rider. I kind of want to see like a clip of him in Kamen Rider.
Yeah, just do it like I imagine there's got to be something, right? Like, there's got to be a thing.
Kamen Rider.
Yeah, it looks like God, this is the most depressing thing. After the rigors he went through in order to become a famous comedian, Nasubi was unable to succeed in the variety TV world. Instead, he became a local talent in his native Fukushima, as well as a dramatic stage actor, founding the stage troupe Eggplant Way, performing across Japan. So he was like, I want to be on variety shows and be like one of those like funny comedian guys that are on TV. And they were like, yeah. Get naked again and apply to a bunch of fucking magazine contests, you nerd.
Yeah, you fucking dork. It's just, oh my god. So he was in the anime, and god, the resemblance is uncanny. It's oh my god. It's so fucking funny. This man, this poor man. Oh.
Yeah, I can't even. It's hard, man.
It is. It's very hard. It's hard to break out into the famous zeitgeist. We're trying to do it right now. But of course, we got thousands of listeners. Right? Colby, I mean, tell me I'm right.
Yeah. Can you imagine, though, like... Imagine, right, like, we're doing this podcast, you're streaming. Imagine someone comes up to you, like, you apply for something, and they're like, hey, yeah, like, we're going to do this comedy show. We're looking for comedians. And you're like, oh, yeah, I think I could do whatever it is you're doing. Like, I want to apply for it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, you would be perfect. Here, sign this form. And you're like, okay, great. And they're like, great. Now you have to live stream for 24 hours naked. And you're like, oh god.
Well, you already signed the paper, and you can't get out of it.
Yeah, when you sign papers, you become a prisoner sometimes.
Well, you see, you didn't see what was on the paper. You just signed, so it says that you are bound to be in the show and naked, and if not, you're gonna spend like 10 years in prison.
10 years in prison, Jesus.
Naked in prison.
God.
Naked and afraid. That's what the next season is going to be.
It all ties back in. This is the new Naked and Afraid.
Naked and Afraid in prison. Oh no, they couldn't, because like women can't. You can't put a naked woman in a prison. Like,
no, bad idea.
That is a
bad idea for everyone, honestly.
Oh shit! Like,
well, speaking of commercialism and being horrific
and consumerism.
A very cool thing that happened if you're into consumerism is that Fortnite now has Dragon Ball Z shit in it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I was playing that the other night and I bought me some Goku. You could be Goku and Beerus and Vegeta and Bulma.
Yeah. So I'm going down the list of like things that are happening, right? So they have like they have special modes, they have the Kamehameha attack.
Yeah, the Nimbus.
The Kami house you can find on the map.
Yeah, I've been there.
There is there's a special like map mode that you can join. Jesus, Fee.
Sorry.
There's a special map mode that you can join to just watch Dragon Ball Super episodes.
Oh yeah, they have like special modes where you can do races on the cloud. Mm-hmm. You can do special events in Capsule Corp in the Capsule Corp town.
Yeah, you can look for the Dragon Balls on like a Dragon Ball Adventure Island, which looks sick.
So let's say 5 years ago, Fortnite was kind of like a kid's game.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't anything special. I mean, you had to be like really good at fucking macroing, but they've done so much with it now. You don't have to build now. Literally, it's so fun with no build mode and all the things they've added, like Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, Superman, Batman. If the Ninja Turtles aren't in there, I'm sure they will be.
Rick and Morty,
Star Wars, Borderlands, Indiana Jones.
Yes. Yeah, there were a lot of Star Wars characters.
The Chupa guy from Telemundo, which was really weird because his costume's going on like a bunch of stuff, like Fortnite and Fall Guys.
Yeah, basically every realm of like being sort of a young person. There's gonna be a new thing in there for you. They've got Halo shit. They've got like stuff from our generation. They have stuff from like younger kids' generation. Fortnite sort of evolved like a lot. And
into a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, it started off as a fun game, and then when people got good is when it stopped being fun.
Yeah.
Like people figured out, oh, you just have to fucking do whatever, and now
you just have to build a mile-long fucking tower. Yeah,
it's like as soon as you shoot somebody, fucking, like a medieval castle appears around them. It's wild.
That's the joke. Like, you could just macro that to a key. Just be like, okay, if I press this button, if I have the resources, it'll spawn the fucking tower. And I'll be on top.
Yep.
And that's no fun.
Yeah, it's not. It's like, it's not fun. So like, I don't know when they made the choice to like do something about it, right? Because like, I'm also looking through some of the bigger ones that they've done. Ghostbusters, Doctor
Oh, yeah.
Doom, Tron,
Oh yeah,
Predator,
the Thanos
Terminator,
one, the fucking Infinity War, the Endgame.
Tomb Raider, Chun-Li,
Yeah,
Master
Ryu.
Chief,
I
and
want
the
that.
Xenomorph from Alien. Right? Like,
Yeah,
these are like cool collaborations, right?
yeah,
And if it was just that, if it was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna add
skins.
we're gonna add this thing, we're gonna add, I don't know, fucking what do you kids like? Gumball is gonna be in it. I don't know.
Yeah, what are kids like? Fucking Jax.
Yeah, if it was just that, I would be like, well, I mean, that's kind of cool. But the other thing that they're doing with it is like, in addition to like adventure maps, they've got like basically Fortnite has sort of become a place to hang out for kids.
With,
my
with all the maps, like the Among Us map and everything.
my wife's nephews like would just, whenever they got home from school, would just get onto Fortnite to hang out with their friends. Like, and they were barely even playing. Like they were playing, but they were just actually hanging out with their friends. Like that was just the thing to do stuff in.
Yeah.
And it's got like so many different things to do now. My favorite thing is that they fucking host concerts in it.
Oh my god, yeah, fucking what's his name?
Marshmello did a concert. Fucking Travis Scott didn't kill anyone in this one, which is great.
They made a Travis Scott skin too.
They did. They certainly did. So
won't
yeah,
anymore.
like they've got all this like really cool shit that they can do like with this platform, and because they're earning money like hand over fist, they can do so many things. Like there's like cameos from like other characters that come in. They could do these concerts. They could do like, oh, we're gonna do this promotion where fucking like, I don't know, Fortnite is gonna be in some TV property or whatever.
Fortnite's making a cameo in Hatsune Miiko's new concert.
Of course, why not?
Wait, so before we go on, did you know that there's another like knockoff Hatsune Miiko?
Is there?
Yeah, that they're trying to push on the metaverse.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they're like, we're the first ones to do that. Like, they're not acknowledging Hatsune Miiko. And she
Miku.
Yeah, Miku. What am I saying?
You're just saying Miko.
No, I'm not. Hatsune Miku. They're not acknowledging her or any of the Vocaloids. Like, they haven't been doing this for like a decade.
Man, why would you do that? We all have the internet. Why would you do that?
They're the same people that are do like not Troom Troom, but one of those content farms.
Oh God, no!
And
no,
they put her out. She is an AI, and she's vocalized AI. She has her own TikTok, and she has her own Twitter. And she also dropped some new some music videos. I'm gonna see if I can go ahead and continue with Fortnite. I'm gonna find this.
Yeah, I'm looking up like the other things that have happened in Fortnite. So a special preview of Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker showed up. Fucking Diplo did a concert. BTS premiered a music video. Ariana Grande did a concert. So like the thing is, like, Fortnite is becoming like they decided to, instead of taking it in the direction of like, we're gonna make this the best battle royale possible, they were like, we're gonna make this the best place to hang out possible. That has like a bunch of cool shit that you can do. Whatever you want, you can find it here. And I think that's like an interesting thing, because like there are definitely places that are trying to do that, but they're not doing it very well. Metaverse. Like, I don't think that Facebook's concept of the metaverse is going to be able to do what Fortnite is currently already doing. Because so I have a number of friends that like, for people at home, if you don't know, there's a game called VR Chat. which isn't limited to just VR. It's also just, you can play it on your PC. But you're just in these virtual worlds that people build. Like, you're at a bar with all of your friends, and your friends all happen to be anime girls or crocodiles or whatever the fuck. You can pick like a bunch of different models that you can be. And so it's like people use it to like go in and like there are certain experiences that you can do there. There are like certain games and stuff, but some people like to use it for role playing. A lot of groups of friends though will just like go there to hang out at night. Like they just go and hang out on voice chat and just fucking hang out. You can do it in VR, so it's like more immersive or whatever. People also just watch movies. So like one person will just start sharing a movie and then everybody is just in the same virtual room watching a movie or watching a TV show together. Like, that sounds fucking sick, dude.
Yeah. Let's see. I found the picture.
Okay.
So let me just save it.
Show me this picture, Fee.
I'm gonna. Speaking of,
I'm doing it.
I saw a movie with the group the other day on Discord.
Oh yeah, did you?
Yeah, it was on the Nostalgia.
What movie was it?
Secret of Nim, and Titan AE. Remember, I told you I was watching Titan AE. You
did, yeah. Titan AE makes sense.
Okay. So this is the new metaverse person. Her name is Polar.
Polar.
Yeah. And she has her own TikTok, and I've already seen a content creator by the name of Jarvis Johnson talk about her, and he explored it. Like, she has a TikTok with like millions of followers, and only like a couple of thousand of likes. So they have they purchased these bots to like fill up all her socials and stuff, and they're making it seem like she's a hit and she's the next new metaverse thing, and she looks exactly like Hatsune Miku. Yeah,
she's got like a slightly different art style, but it's hard to get away from like
the blue
like
hair.
A big exaggerated colorful anime girl. Like like a lot of them look pretty samey if you're not careful.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what's going on with that. But I mean that was just an aside because of what we're talking about. But what you wanted to talk about is tell me, because Fortnite is very vast. But if you had a dream character that you could put in Fortnite, who would it be?
Yeah, like a dream collaboration, right? Because like again, this place is effectively a dumping ground for fandoms, right? So you could pick any fandom. At this point, I'm thinking just statues from Takeshi Murakami.
God damn it! I was gonna say that. I was gonna say the Lonely Cowboy.
Yeah, My Lonesome Cowboy. That's all I want.
That was gonna be my pick. I did have a pick, but after I saw that statue. Of course that.
Yeah, no. Tell me your pick. What would you like to put in there?
The Lonesome Cowboy. No, I'm just. That's my second pick, but my first pick, and it's very specific to me only. Tequila Gundam.
Okay, you know what? That's fair. Like even like if we expanded a bit, like a Gundam one would be fucking cool, right?
Yeah,
like
Shining Gundam, dude.
Yeah, like they could pick any of the cool famous Gundams. Shining Gundam, Wing Gundam, the original Mobile Suit Gundam.
Fucking the Dutch Gundam from G Gundam. That's just a fucking windmill.
Just a windmill with a head on it. It's perfect. But that's why design it. Why iterate on perfection?
Exactly. That's why Tequila Gundam's my choice. He is a Mexican Gundam from the planet Sombrero.
He's from Neo Mexico, please.
It's shaped like a sombrero.
Yes, he has a hat. It is a sombrero.
It's a sombrero. But he has a mustache too, a green mustache on his Gundam face.
He does. It's I want to say upsetting, but it's not.
It's not.
He's got a cactus pauldron.
Yeah.
Just because, they were like, well, I don't know anything about Mexico except that it's got, for sure it has cactus, and for sure they have mustaches, and for sure
they have sombreros.
And they have sombreros.
And they're brown. His Gundam itself is it white? It's brown.
It's brown, yes. It's possibly the fucking wildest thing.
It's the best! Dude, fucking Mexican Gundam. He's not Mexican in just terms. He's Mexican in physicality.
Mm-hmm.
He is the embodiment of future Mexico. Fucking Tequila Gundam. I wish in my fucking heart of hearts that they made a Gunpla of Tequila Gundam. It would be the only thing that I would want for, like, Christmas, because, like, I've never made a Gunpla. They're, like, really hard and intricate, and I'm very heavy-handed when it comes to, like, putting things together. Mm-hmm. I would take a month just to put this together. I'd buy, like, the magnifying glass and the tweezers, and I'd take my time and paint him very, like, intricately, because, like, I don't know, man. G Gundam is my favorite Gundam, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But Tequila Gundam is my favorite non-main Gundam. Just because of how ridiculous he is. Like, he's so fun. And the name, too. His name is fucking Tequila Gundam.
Tequila Gundam.
It's... You got Shining Gundam, Evil Gundam, Dutch, like Buffalo Gundam.
You mean the Dark Gundam?
The Dark Gundam.
Evil Gundam, that's its name. Evil Gundam.
I wouldn't put it past G Gundam. You got a Gundam that's a horse. You got Schoolgirl Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking.
The one for the Neo America Gundam is called Gundam Maxter.
Yes.
But it could also be there's another one called Gundam Freedom.
Gundam Maxter's fun. He's just a fucking boxer. He has fucking Gundam boxing gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Gundam France has a fucking metal cape that shoots roses.
Yeah,
lasers.
hell yeah.
Fucking, that's sick.
Yeah, that, like, G Gundam is like a ridiculous ass series. So yeah, this is like that's a solid pick for like a really good collaboration crossover, because you've got so much to pull from. There's so many different
even
like
if
Gundam series.
Even if it was just G Gundam.
Yeah, G Gundam in and of itself, I think would be a hard sell for anyone, because the only two people that are really big fans of G Gundam are in this Discord call right now.
Look, I don't care what people think. I know a lot of people are like, oh, that's problematic. It is not. It's fun. Because if it was problematic, it would just be making fun of, like, one race. But every single race is made fun of, and their stereotypes are pushed to 100. It's great.
Yeah, I will say, except for Neo Japan. Neo Japan is just...
Neo Japan is serious, and he's on a mission, and he follows the rules, and he's just about Kyoji!
That's right. It's all about Domon Kashu finding fucking Kyoji.
And he's a martial artist. Like, come on. That's
I will say he's the school of the undefeated of the East, and like there's a time at which him and his master both look at the sun like rising, and they're like, look, the sun rises in the east.
Hold on, I'm gonna pull up the saying, because I fucking love it. Undefeated
of the East.
I spelled undefeated.
He's so good. Wrong. There's like, this show is like, I don't know. So in what is it? Quentin Tarantino's movies, there's basically two universes.
Yeah.
There's the more realistic universe where like stuff takes place in, like if I'm not mistaken, Pulp Fiction is like in the realistic universe. But then he's got the movies that the people within Pulp Fiction watch, and those are movies like Kill Bill. And I find that concept very charming, because that super applies to Gundam, where it's like, oh yeah, Mobile Suit Gundam, Wing Gundam, that's like the real shit. And they watch G Gundam.
Exactly. Hold on. I gotta say this.
Okay.
Answer me, Domon. The school of the undefeated of the East, winds of the king, Lenshin, Hiritsu, Tempan Kyoren. Look, the East is burning red.
The East is burning red. Dog, that's the sun. Hey, that's the sun. It's there every day.
No, It only burns red here.
Oh, right now. And only for Japan. Shut up!
This show is so fucking good. I don't know why, like, nobody acknowledges how good it is. Fucking... Especially when Domon goes, like, Shining Gundam for the first time. Like, that video that you shared with us that one time. Fucking, it's gonna show you my power! He put so much emphasis on that fucking word.
The voice actor they picked for Domon Kashu, incredible. Absolutely incredible.
He put his fucking all into that role.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm not mistaken, he also like didn't do a lot after that.
Nah, he voiced Domon again in Dynasty Warriors Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm looking through the credits. So he voiced Domon Kashu, 1994 to 1995. And he's done, since then, a few things here and there. He's been... he was Mega Man X a couple of times.
Oh, wow.
But that he stopped voice acting in 2006.
That's so sad.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's so fucking
his
good.
name is Mark Gatha, and where are you, Mark Gatha?
Hey, Mark, if you're hearing this, just come on the show and tell us G Gundam quotes.
Yeah.
Just tell us that this hand of yours burns with a burning passion. Shining finger. God, it's so good. Now I want to watch it. And Colby, the mad lad. We were talking about it one day. We're like, we're gonna get the podcast like out to 100, and then if we get a certain amount of Patreon, we're gonna have a fucking stream of just G Gundam for like 12 hours or however long it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're listening to this and you haven't like subscribed or followed us, now's a good time, because then you get to see G Gundam in like 1080p fucking Blu-ray glory.
Oh my god. Okay. So yes, I want to, sorry, I found something very interesting and I got distracted. But yes, you were correct. If we get to this podcast large enough, we're going to have a 24-hour live stream in which the only thing we do is Shotgun G Gundam. Like, I'm going to pay my wife whatever I need to pay my wife to take care of my child for a weekend, and then me and Fee are going to lock ourselves inside of a hotel room with a bunch of food, and we're just going to watch G Gundam.
Honestly,
and we're going to live stream the whole thing.
That sounds like a dream to me.
It does. Doesn't this sound like the best idea of all time?
Honestly, it's the best idea you've ever had.
I'm just saying.
You had a lot of good ones, but damn if this isn't the best.
So I have a video to share with you.
Okay, show me.
I was looking up what Mark Gatha was doing, right? It's been 2006,
okay,
right, is the last time that he was doing voiceovers. So you got to wonder, right? Like, this man has to have a job. I know, again, like, just because of having enough friends in the industry, I know for a fact that, like, unless you're doing voice acting jobs super consistently, it's really difficult to make a living just off of that.
Especially back in the day.
Mm-hmm. Definitely back in the day. And like, so now, like, I've got a friend that like is a voice actor and, also works at like a restaurant. I have a friend that's a voice actor and also works in IT, right? Like, this is a thing that you do for fun because you have some passion for it and they will pay you for it, right? If you get super famous, then you can hit the con scene, then you can make money doing it. But like, the major thing is like, if you're not consistently working, you can't make a living at it.
You just got to be Sean Schemmel and voice Goku.
You just got to voice Goku and that's it.
Goku, Luffy, Naruto. Even the voice of Naruto. Sorry, go ahead.
That's true. I am wondering who the voice of Naruto is.
It's like 4 foot tall, chubby lady.
Oh, nice.
And she sounds like Naruto even when she's not voicing him. She was
good. Are we talking English or Japanese?
English.
Okay.
She also was on a Nickelodeon show, and it was so funny to watch her talk because all I hear is Naruto. So fucking funny. Because that's just her voice.
Yeah.
And she's a sweet old lady. Like, she looks like someone's grandma. Someone's grandma's voicing Naruto.
Yeah, she's just bouncing around saying believe it.
Even back then, I forget her name, but she's so sweet, but she's not like... I don't think she's like mega... like into the con scene or anything, like really. I remember seeing an interview with her, and she's just like, I remember, going to the store and seeing someone, wearing a Naruto shirt, and I came up to him and did the voice, and they freaked out, and I was like, oh, that's fucking adorable.
That is adorable.
That's fucking great.
So the information that I have found, so this is all to build up to say, what is Mark Gatha doing?
Yeah, what's he doing?
What has he been doing? Well, I found this Facebook video.
Ooh, show me, tell me.
And it was taken in March 2015.
I want to get lost in this sauce.
So here it is. I've sent it to you now.
Okay.
Can you read the video, the first line of the video description for me?
How we make patients better, how we make ourselves better. Wait, he's a doctor!
He's a doctor.
Oh no!
He's not just a doctor either. He's I think an orthopedic surgeon.
Okay, I don't know if you read the comments of this video. Right?
Oh no.
So there's 2 comments.
Oh god, you're right.
One says, "Happy belated birthday, doctor. Thanks for giving us the best memories during your VA career. Your fans love you and miss you. Good luck." The second one, this hand of mine is burning red.
Burning red.
God, yes. Oh shit, hold on. I put the volume up. I want to hear him.
Yeah, tell me if he sounds the same, please, God.
He does not sound like Domon Cash.
Okay, good. Because that would be great if he was like delivering. Because like this is a video for a hospital in which this man is talking about healthcare. You gotta be like, hey, can you do the fucking voice for me
on my deathbed? just I'm getting like, he's my doctor, and I'm like. He's like, "Sir, you have stage 3 cancer," and I'm like, "Damn, that sucks. Can you do the voice? Do the line? Fucking." Mm-hmm. It's that fucking Simpsons meme. Say the line. Fucking
say the line.
Just there, I'm on the bed. Fucking hair's like pale as fuck, and I'm just like, "Say the line." Just God.
Say the line. Come on. Say the line.
He's just like angry. He's like, he's dying, it's fine, it's cool, and he closes the door so no one, like, fucking sees him. But then, like, he goes in, like, silent, and then he fucking busts out the thing like he never left being a voice actor.
Man.
He does not sound like Domon.
Man,
I'm listening
that's
to him.
great. I'm so happy that, like... I'm so happy to hear that he has a professional voice, and that if you went in and you saw it, like, can you fucking imagine? You live in Vancouver, Canada, and like, you determine that you have bone spurs, and you're like, oh, I've got to go in for my bone spur surgery. And you get in there, and you're like, I'm getting changed into my gown, and then fucking you hear the doctor just. Doctor comes in. The doctor just, by this hand of mine is burning red. It's loud where it tells me to saw off your bone spurs.
This X-ray of yours is showing me your bones. Fucking. God damn it. Oh no.
Dr.
Oh dude.
Mark.
So, okay, going back to cancer on the deathbed. He's on the deathbed, you're on the deathbed, and you're just like... you're like fading, and you're like...
Mm-hmm.
Doc, recite the martial arts, and he's just like... He does the Master Agent death fucking.
Mm-hmm. You're like, hold me. You're like looking off to the side. He's holding you while you're dying, and you're like, God, just say the line, please. You don't want to say it out loud because you don't want to be embarrassed. Then he's like, look,
The East is burning red.
The East is burning red, and you're like, oh thank you.
Oh my god. Dude, oh, I wonder if his, like, coworkers know.
His coworkers, so if I know anything about anything, it's that there's probably 2 coworkers that are intimately familiar with his work and are like, oh yeah, I loved G Gundam, I loved your stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's probably what the level of familiarity is.
Yeah.
And then everyone else, he's probably said like, oh yeah, I've like maybe someone told them like, oh yeah, like Dr. Mark used to be Dr. Gatha actually used to be a voice actor. He like did a couple of like really popular animes, and he was like Mega Man. It was like pretty cool. And they were like, oh cool. And that was it, and the information just fucking drained out of their brains.
Yeah, the person excited for that is like, didn't you hear what I said? Fucking.
Yeah. Hey, he was Mega Man X and Mega Man X Maverick Hunter.
And it's just this, like, middle-aged woman who's just like, yeah, I heard you. That's cool, I guess.
Hey, your patient's coding right now. What? Oh, God.
God, that's so great. Like, that's so awesome to hear. Like, I would have never in a million years know that. And he sounds so different. Like, God.
Yeah, because I Googled, right? Like you do, I was just Googling. And I Googled like Mark Gatha, and so like I'm just looking around, like, okay, yeah, I see his IMDb, I see this, and then I saw like a link to Facebook and a fucking medical video on Facebook, and I was like,
no,
what? Why is what? And then I clicked it, and sure enough, it was just fucking. There he is. He's just fucking in this video,
and everyone like in the comments knows because fucking, they're like giving him well wishes and like fucking quoting his show to him.
Yeah, you gotta wonder if like if the comments that we got here are like, you gotta wonder if they picked. If they like deleted some of the comments, or if they picked some to keep, or what.
Well, hold on. There's 3 of them.
There is 3 of them. The third one is, "You're nothing but a maverick." I can't even believe this.
I can't. Oh, that's so fucking good. That's so fucking good. Oh, fuck. Oh, God. We kept on about G Gundam for too long. Who's your pick?
Oh, my pick was... So my pick is way less good than yours. Now I'm embarrassed that I have to go.
You should have went first.
I should have gone first. What a gaffe on my part. My pick for dream collaboration for Fortnite is Texas' favorite grocery store, H-E-B. Now let me tell you.
Well, no, let me explain.
I've thought about this. There's many things they could do, right? Like on the map, there's an H-E-B you can go in, right? H-E Buddy is a character you can be.
Oh,
right?
no.
Now they've introduced a game in which you get to collect Buddy Bucks. And Buddy Bucks, if you get enough of those, you can purchase special items that you can't purchase with V-Bucks. You can only buy them with Buddy Bucks.
There's no way fucking I couldn't imagine anyone paying for the bag mascot.
And then inside of all of the HEBs, there's like a fucking Fortnite display where it's like, fucking, where are we dropping boys? The cereal aisle? Like,
yeah. Oh, dude, the map is just a giant HEB.
A huge HEB. Yeah.
You gotta collect the bacon wrapped jalapenos. You
Mm-hmm.
you gotta
They're
get
like, oh shit, I'm holed up inside of the sushi. I can't fucking, I can't move.
only on this map. You know how like you can collect gold to buy stuff in vending machines.
Mm-hmm.
That switched to Buddy Bucks.
It's all buddy bucks.
It's I was expecting you to say what a guy.
You know, I had thought about Whataburger, but it's just What a Guy, and like
no, what a guy and
Whataburger
and his sidekick. What's his name? Something boy.
Yeah, you know, his sidekick that everyone knows and loves.
Just a guy. It was What a Guy and Just a Boy. Yeah, Just a Boy.
Oh yeah, Just a Boy. Yes.
And there's an alien and a scientist are bad guys. That's as far as I know.
Yeah, it's the What a Pals is what they're called, and I hate it.
I'd want a What a Pal.
Yeah, I bet you fucking would. So the thing is, what we like. HEB has more. No store does more than my HEB. And so like, right? You've got like the Texas zeitgeist, right? You've got red. Just there's a color like because Whataburger has orange, I guess, and HEB has red. They've both got about the same amount of characters. Maybe we just combine the two. Ooh. Maybe this is like an HEB Whataburger collabo.
Just a Texas collab. Just a full-on Texas collab.
Well, unfortunately, whenever you do that, then you have to start picking and choosing what represents Texas the best.
Well, Whataburger and HEB.
Whataburger and HEB are like the two top contenders, but then you start getting sports people that are like, what about the Rangers? What about the Astros? What about the Texans? What about the Cowboys?
They're stupid. They're confined to you can just get a shirt that your character wears of a Texas team. And that's it.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, shut up.
You can get a helmet for your backpack or something.
You can get, like... so Dairy Queen isn't Texas exclusive, but calling it the Texas stop sign is, so maybe we get a Dairy Queen thing going?
We can get a Stone Cold. Isn't he from Texas?
He is from Texas. He's from Victoria.
There we go. Right there.
Fucking. So we've got Stone Cold. We've got like the Broken Skull Ranch. We can get in there, of course.
We can get the HEB map.
We got the HEB map.
Ooh, but what?
There's got to be a Whataburger on the map too.
Yeah,
obviously,
of course. Oh, but what would be like
the whole island is shaped like Texas? Duh.
Oh, fuck yeah! But what would be like the special pickaxe? Because every time you get one of they always have like Dragon Ball Z had the power pole. So what?
That's true.
What would you?
What pickaxe would it be?
Oh shit.
I'm
thinking
it's got to be like the HEB sign, right? Like it's got to be a big the HEB sign and the Whataburger sign, right?
Oh,
like
dude,
a big pole with the thing on top.
So like you know how now you can have like the dual hand scythes. So like it's just a dual hand scythe, one with the HEB's logo and one with the Whataburger. Like in
That's
both hands, good. Just two-handed.
So I'm looking. Also, we have the Undertaker, right?
Oh yeah, he went to college with Mike's dad.
He did, and he was also born in Houston, and he lives in Austin. So like, he's Texas. My man is Texas.
We have picture confirmation that he went to college with our friend's dad. I saw the picture.
Yeah, and it's honestly, so I've seen that picture too, and it's honestly wild because the Undertaker doesn't look like the Undertaker. Like, you can see his eyes and his facial structure look similar, but he doesn't look frightening, and my brain can't comprehend it.
Well, this was an old, like, picture of him when he was young in, like, in basketball gear. So, he wasn't the fucking phenom. He wasn't, like, wearing his black getup and purple gloves. Like, he wasn't coming out with an urn and pallbearer.
Yeah, that's right. Which is... He wasn't born like that, which is so disappointing to me.
Kane isn't his real brother. I hate to fucking...
I know. Fucking... What?
I hate to fucking pull the wool off your eyes. I'm sorry.
The thing that, like, really, I guess... Whenever I realized that wrestling wasn't entirely real, was whenever I saw Stone Cold in an airport. I saw him in a Houston airport. This is back before, like... for you youngins out there, you used to not have to go through airport security. You used to just you could go through airport security, but you could accompany people to the gate and they would just let you do that and no one cared.
Yeah.
And
they wouldn't even check you.
Yeah. And so we were going to go wait for someone to get off of the plane. And while we were there, Stone Cold happened to be there and he was waiting for his plane. A bunch of kids were around him, talking with him and whatever. And, I just noticed that he was drinking a Fruitopia, and I was like, I know that it's 11 a.m., but Stone Cold Steve Austin only drinks beer.
Yeah.
So something's wrong here.
Wait a minute, that's not really him. Fucking pulled the beard off him like Santa Claus. Hey, this isn't Stone Cold.
Hey,
this is just Steve.
Man,
that's so fucking good. I've only met wrestlers in Corpus. Not met them, but so I was ringside when I went to go see my first wrestling match, and
hell yeah.
I wasn't ringside, but they weren't really I was in the stands, but they weren't really giving a shit. They were just whatever. Half the show's already done, and this wasn't one of the ones where they filmed it, for TV. And Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio were fighting, and I was there ringside, and I was fucking hooting and hollering because fuck yeah, wrestling. And then when they got down on the side, God, both of those men are very short, first of all.
Yes, they are.
And when they came to the ring, I remember, giving big pats on the back to Rey Mysterio, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!" And then he went off, and then Eddie Guerrero, but he was still in character. He was still bad guy. I remember doing the same thing, and he fucking slapped my hand away, and I was like, "Oh, boo!" And he was,
"Oh, boo! Fuck that guy!"
And then he went out of the ring. So I was like, "Fuck yeah! I touched wrestlers. That's fucking sick." So, yeah, that's, my experience with meeting a wrestler in person. I think I also met Sting once, but it could have been just, a guy pretending to be. He always wears face paint, so I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? No one knows what Sting looks like without the face paint.
Well, I mean...
Despite the fact that he was in that one movie.
As a kid, I don't question... I once... I was coaxed to go to a Sonic because they said the Power Rangers were there. And it was just people in costumes.
Oh, fuck you.
They're my parents were like, "Oh, dude, going to Sonic." And I was just like, "Okay, I'm fine with burger." And they're like, "The Power Rangers are going to be there." I was like, "Oh, the Power Rangers!"
Fucking Power Rangers, really?
And I get there and it was fucking, what's it called? Halloween costumes. I was like, I knew what it was when I saw them. I was like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, this is still fun. So, I hung out with them and we got to play for a little bit. But I was kind of disappointed even back then because I think I was already I wasn't older than 10, but I was just that wasn't them. So
yeah, God, I can't even. What a weird fucking thing to be like, hey, we're going to go to Sonic. And number one, that wasn't enough to get you to go. But number two, they were like, the Power Rangers are going to be there. How the fuck did they know?
I think what they had one of their friends had called them. And they were like, hey, they're doing a promotion at Sonic. And, bring the kids because they have people dressed up as the Power Rangers here, doing interactions. So that may have just been it. And my mom knew that I was big into Power Rangers, so she took me. And while you're there, why not get a big drink and a little burger?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I remember very fondly. There was a summer in which I went to summer school. This was a good summer because there was also a bad summer in which I went to summer school. But the good summer, I would wake up at fucking noon and then hang out for a little bit and then go and grab, I would go to summer school, which was a college course for English. I would do that in the next town over. I would come back through our town. I would pick up Joey and Jack, and then we would drive to the Harbor Playhouse to go to a community theater play practice.
Yeah.
And we would do that basically every day. And then we would get done, come back home, and it'd be like, you know, whatever, 10 p.m. at the time. And on the way back, we would just stop at Sonic all the fucking time to just like get a drink and hang out, or get an ice cream and hang out. And that was like that was the summer that I was somebody told me, hey, you know what's really good is if you get a cherry chocolate slush. And I went, that sounds fucking disgusting. And then I was like, well, you know what, I come here often enough that if I ruin my drink tonight, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to get another one like in 2 days. And then I tasted it and was like, oh, this is what I get from now on. It's cherry chocolate slush.
I don't know. That still sounds really awful.
It's weird, I'll tell you. But like, it was, so I drank it and was like, I don't like this. And then I kept drinking it. And then by the end of it, I was like, no, I love that. Actually, that's great.
Okay, so another gross thing. One of our friends in Discord, we're in the food, like in the other Discord. And she told me of a weird southern recipe that I have to try, but I'm going to honestly tell you, it sounds disgusting. And it makes it makes me want to vomit. So you get a pear, right? You cut it in half. So you got you a pear, right? You get that pear, you put mayonnaise in it, and you sprinkle some cheddar cheese on it.
I'm very familiar with this recipe. My grandfather used to make it for himself and call it pear salad.
That's what it's called, Southern pear salad. Google it. It's a thing. It's bleh.
Yeah, I distinctly remember my grandfather having this, and so he had it in the most southern of situations too, right?
Yeah.
My grandparents had a trailer in a very tiny town in Texas called Colorado City. And it was by a lake. So like whenever you say like, oh yeah, the lake house, you're imagining like a nice vacation spot, but this is like legitimately a trailer.
Yeah.
And they like the whole nine, as redneck as it could be. They had the good boat, or I guess what they had is the boat that used to be the good boat that they left there outside, and it didn't work anymore, and it had snakes in it and a bunch of bugs and stuff, so you couldn't use that one. You had to use the small, cheap boat, which is the aluminum boat. There was an old swing set that someone had put in at some point, but like, again, it's like, you know, they only go out to this trailer once every like few weeks, if that. And so like, you know, that equipment's not being used, so it's like falling apart. Like in order to get TV, they had like a satellite dish on the on the roof that you turned with a motor that was like down below. Oh, no. Every time that we showed up, the first thing to do was to check for snakes. Like they had snake traps under the trailer to catch rattlesnakes and kill them. Like that's how redneck this was. And it was great. I loved every second of being there. But one of the things, like, I remember I came in from being outside, and my grandfather was just at the table, and he got up to go outside to go do something real quick, and I was like, what is he eating? And it was just like cut up pear with mayo and cheese, and I was like, what?
Why?
What? Why is this?
Yeah. Just it sounds so gross, but like I'm morbidly curious. I'm morbidly obese. I'm
here to tell you, it's pretty fucking good, actually. It's actually pretty fucking good, dude.
It's just that meme of like, oh, they say white people don't have culture. Then what is this? Fucking that. Cause
I recently watched a video that has very similar vibes. ProZed did a video in which he was tasting weird food combinations for charity.
Yeah.
You could like donate money, and then he would put two things together and try them together. And one of the combos was Oreos and cheddar cheese, and he was like, this is actually pretty good.
Yeah, I know you showed us that, and that, oh no.
So I'm just saying.
Listen.
Just saying.
I'm... As much good content that would make if I was to just sit down at a table and film myself eating just these rancid things, like my fight or flight like reflexes are kicking in every time I see those pictures of the pear with mayonnaise on it.
Just a little mayonnaise pear. What's wrong?
If God intended mayo to be on a pear, he would have already invented it.
Yeah. God said Adam and Eve, not pear and cheddar.
Not mayo and peeve. I got it.
Yeah, we like the South has a lot of. The South is kind of like England in that if you go far enough back in food history, you get to some really fucking weird stuff. Like Southern ladies are like very well known for just like putting some shit in Jello or putting Jello in some other shit for no reason.
Here's the weird thing, like stuff in Jello is fine. I don't know why, but it has to be like lime Jello. Because lime Jello makes everything good in it. Fruit in lime Jello is the fucking bomb.
I prefer fruit in red Jello. I love that. Big fan.
That must be a
but like
white
I'm
thing.
talking about savory shit. I'm talking about like hot dog in Jello.
Oh god.
Like that's not
making me want to vom.
That's not good, right?
That
can't be good.
No. God no. Don't make me think about this.
I'm just saying, like it's things like that. It's like putting Jello in everything or everything in Jello. And the other one is like finding an already complete like piece of food and making that an ingredient in something else is another one of those where you're like, you just took the food and but the food is done. They'll be like, oh yeah, we're gonna make we're gonna make this like pudding or whatever.
Okay.
We're gonna make this dessert, and you're gonna first you like take a whole cake mix, and then you put the cake mix in. You're like, all right, we're gonna make a cake, and they're like, no. Instead, you're gonna add in a bunch of other things that don't go in the cake mix and bake it, and it doesn't turn into a cake somehow. And I'm like, why? Why the cake mix then?
It just turns into a slosh.
It's just a big sloppy mess. This is a big sloppy Southern mess. That's what we are known for. Our casseroles, which is another way of saying big sloppy mess in a dish.
Dude, casseroles are fine. Fucking King Ranch chicken. It's the best thing you could do.
Oh God!
It's the best thing you could do to leftover chicken.
I cannot believe how good King Ranch chicken is. I had never had it before, like I turned maybe 18 or something, and I was mad that it was kept from me that long.
I think King Ranch chicken is one of those poor people like things because like you don't want to waste food, so you just make it into a casserole. It's just one of those things that came out of that ideal where they're like, this is fucking good. And now everyone has their own King Ranch fucking recipe.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
But
is like
I also feel
the amount of like variations you get on recipes is also crazy down here.
I also feel like King Ranch chicken is known like for a lot of people, but I also feel like it's not known because I never hear anyone talk about it. I always hear people like bring it up at like a barbecue, like I got King Ranch chicken. But that's it.
Well, I mean, to be fair, like most of the people that we know are like, we know what King Ranch is, so it's like, okay, makes sense. Like, like you probably know King Ranch chicken because you're close to King Ranch. Yeah. But like, I feel like the further out that you get, the more that it's like, what is a King Ranch chicken? What is this?
Yeah, just Google it. You won't be disappointed. Like,
no, you will not. This is not like pear salad. King Ranch chicken is good. Yeah. Objectively.
Yeah, so good. Like King Ranch chicken, shepherd's pie, enchilada casserole. That's my mom's specialty.
Yeah, that's good. Enchilada. All those are good. Yeah. We recently got into casseroles and specifically because it's so easy to just like take a bunch of ingredients, dump it into a pan, cover it with foil, and put it in the oven for 3 hours, and then like the pasta's baked through and all the flavors have come together. You're like, oh shit, this is actually super good.
Yeah. So you want to know a food that I want to try badly, but I've never tried? Oh, excuse me. I'm sure you've tried it. Beef Wellington.
Yeah, I've had a Wellington before.
I'm sure it's like not something spectacular. It's just, what is it, like roast beef?
Yeah, so it's
roast
it's
shoulder.
chateaubriand, which is like a specific cut of meat, but it's effectively like fillet,
Yeah,
like a long
it's just
fillet.
a long fillet in bread.
In bread. Well, there's something in the middle. It's something called mushroom duxelle,
it's
which is
they
effectively like mushrooms and mustard.
yeah, they basically it's like shit, what's that mustard? It's the one with like the seeds in it.
Like Dijon.
Yeah, it's like Dijon mustard because I was watching on MasterChef. And they have to like coat the meat in it after they sear it on all sides. Then they put it in the freezer, let it cool, and then after they let it cool, they put the dough down and they put the mushroom stuff and make sure it's coated all the way, but not too thick or else it won't cook properly.
Correct.
And then wrap it in the bread, and then they make a fucking another bread lattice on it. And then they
it's a massive pain in the ass to make.
Yeah, I thought about making it, but every time I look at the ingredients, I'm like, oh, it's not worth it.
Well, not only that, like even if you try to pare down some of the stuff, because you're like, okay, I'm not going to do the lattice part on the outside, right? I'm just going to get some regular puff pastry, and that's how I'm going to do it. Like getting that chateaubriand is like super expensive because it's like a super tender cut of meat.
Yeah.
And then making the mushroom duxelle is pretty expensive too. So like that's one of the reasons why you see a dish like that in a restaurant, is because they can afford to buy these ingredients in bulk to get a discount, and then like they could cut that up and serve it between like, you know, 6 people, and if all 6 people are paying $35 for it, then okay, it makes sense to do this now.
And they don't even get
whenever
the
you're cooking it at home. Yeah, when you're cooking at home, it's like, the fuck am I doing? Like I'm literally spending $50 to make this Wellington for myself.
Yeah.
No,
dude, for if just one day I decide to do it, spend like $50-$60 on it, it would probably be fine. I might serve it to my mom and sister. They'd probably be like, oh, this is real good. Eat it once and then we never do it again. And I'd probably eat the leftovers, heat them up in a microwave like a caveman, and eat them the next day.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Fucking.
I'm right there with you. So there are times whenever I get super inspired by food YouTube as well, and I'm just like, I just get a real wild hair at my ass to like go and do something. That actually happened yesterday. I saw a recipe for a drink called chai karak. Have you ever heard of chai tea?
Yeah, chai tea is my favorite, dude.
Yeah, so chai tea is super, super good. And chai karak is super similar, except that it's got like slightly different spices, and you make it with more milk, effectively. So it's black tea with ginger and a little bit of cinnamon, cardamom. Yes, cardamom and saffron is also in it.
Saffron.
And saffron is like a very expensive spice, but as weird as the sentence is going to be, fortunately, I mean, we gave some saffron to my mom, and then my mom never used it, and then she died, and then we got it back. So really, we bought some saffron for ourselves, but later
we lucked out. We gave some saffron to my mom. She aged it, and now we have it. Fucking
we now have aged saffron.
And chefs are always saying use it fresh. It's better fresh.
Yeah, oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know that it did anything in this, but yeah, I saw that drink, and it was the color of Thai tea, like that very vivid orange terracotta kind of color. Yeah. And I was like, I want that. So yeah, I just bought the ingredients and made it.
You have the means to do that. I'd have to be like on my big check, and I'd have to be like, you know what? I'm gonna make me a fucking Wellington, and I probably could. Like, no, I'm. As weird as this sounds, I'm a pretty good cook. I'm just too lazy. That's what I always tell everybody. I'm like, and my sister, she knows I'm a good cook because I've cooked for her before, and like I've shown her that I cook really good. But then, like, I'm too lazy. I'm the lazy chef. Like, only when I want to cook fucking extravagant will I. But
yeah, and honestly, I'm right there with you. The fact that, like, you know, I've got a small child. It's hard to want to do fucking anything after he goes to bed, especially on the weekend, because like he's in daycare, and you know, so I like work a full day, get him back, and then we like give him dinner and play with him and put him to bed, and And like at the end of the day, I'm wiped. Yeah. And then on the weekend, you're like, oh, well, you've got more time. Yeah, but all of that time is spent taking care of the baby as well. So like I'm very tired at the end of that day too. So I never want to cook a lot.
Yeah.
Which is why we're getting more into casseroles where it's like, oh, cool, 20 minutes of like even if that, it's like 5 minutes of like I chopped one onion and then I put all of the ingredients together inside of this dish and now it's done, right? Like that's the sort of level that we're at. I made Creole last night just because like it's not hard to do anymore. Yeah. Like it's a recipe that I know really well, but like I wouldn't go out and make a fucking Wellington. I wouldn't go out and like I wouldn't pick
I wouldn't make a filet mignon.
Pick one of those recipes. Yeah, I wouldn't pick one of those recipes where it's like, well, first you have to start out by like soaking the chicken in the buttermilk, and it has to stay there for 6 hours, like not overnight. You specifically have to start at noon at lunchtime. So then you got to take it out.
That would probably be easier for you. So like you could just be like, hey wife, can you hold son for like a second, and then you put whatever meats in the marinade. And then put them away and be like, all right, give me child back. And then
sure,
set
but
a
like
timer.
those recipes always turn out to be like, great, now you like drain the marinade and now you French the chicken. You like cut it in a specific way. And then you have to grill on one side and then like flip it over and just get some color on the other. Make sure it's not cooked, though, because then you have to put it in the oven with this thing, and then you take all of that out and you combine it and make it into a cake. Like it's one of those things where like anytime that somebody is like, oh yeah, this is like an easy recipe, don't worry about it. You just gotta spend 10 hours, and then it's like, it's easy though. It's all like you're just not doing much. It's fine.
Yeah, it's real easy. All steps are like hours apart, so by the time they're all like marinated and set in the oven and stuff, you just gotta put it all out and put it together.
Yeah. In fact, you've got to start cooking this
yesterday.
You got to start cooking this whenever you're hungry, but not for food today, for food tomorrow. So like
that's why like on cooking shows, they're like, okay, we're gonna tell you how to make this recipe. And this is a step-by-step. You put this for a couple hours, then you're going to pull this out, and then you're going to do all this shit to it, then put it in the oven for like 30 minutes. But to save you the time, we already pre-cooked one to show you how it is.
It's so good.
No one gets any, though. It's just mine. The good thing about your particular case, you would only have to do that if you wanted it. Because your wife and your kid are vegan, effectively.
That is true.
So,
yeah.
like, this would have to be like, man, I really want this extravagant meal, and I can't go buy it anywhere, because I know you would look if someone was selling it already pre-made first. And, and you're like, well, no one's selling it, so I have to do it myself.
Yeah, and so this month, we're actually, like, trying to cut down on, like, our food expenses, because it's so easy, whenever you like have a baby to be like, oh, well, you know what? We already ordered DoorDash yesterday. We'll just order DoorDash again today. I'm tired. I know we have the ingredients to make dinner, but like, let's just order DoorDash again. Like, it's so easy to just be like, fuck it.
Dude, another food that I want to try is duck. They make that shit look so fucking juicy.
Yeah, duck is pretty good.
I've never had it.
Duck can be pretty good.
I've never had duck. I've never had duck. I've never had crane. I've never had like an ostrich egg, and I just want to sip on that.
Never had crane? Who the fuck makes crane?
The chefs.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Which chef? Do you have like a name?
No, I couldn't. I don't want to put it.
No, it's a secret source. Endangered species. You know.
I don't want to put them on blast. You know.
I don't want to put this chef on blast.
So all of this leads to our segue. Today we're sponsored by HelloFresh.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, if you want some like delicious, easy to make meals that are sent to your door every day, DoorDash is your friend.
Yeah, use our code GoGetIt6. Fucking and
to get no percent off.
Yeah, to get 0% off. Just order get HelloFresh. HelloFresh sponsor us because I've never had it and I want to try it.
Yeah, HelloFresh is fine. I mean, it's just like another one of those meal kit things where it's the problem with those. So the major problem that we have is like,
don't talk bad on them. They could be a sponsor.
Sure, fair enough. But the major problem that my wife and I have, because we've tried like 3 different ones,
Yeah.
and they're good. They like the food that they make tastes really good. But the problem that we always get into is we like cook the meals that we have, and then either we like go on vacation, or one of us is sick, or we're not feeling well, or whatever. Like we leave the house, and then you come back, and now whatever the situation is, you now have 2 meals in your fridge. So you're like, okay, I have to cook last week's meal, and I have to cook this week's meal, and I have to like do it in that order.
Yeah.
And then by the time you get done cooking both those meals, another meal has shown up, and now you're just playing catch up constantly. Yeah. And we would get to the point where it was like, well, now none of this food is good. We just have to throw it away. So we were like, wow, this is getting super wasteful.
What a privileged problem that sounds like. Just
It is. No, it's a super first world thing. Like, I completely recognize that, especially whenever I was like, oh yeah, we just order DoorDash all the time. Like, we had the money to do that, so it's fine. But like, you know, I get it. It's I'm just saying that, like, if you were paying for the service, you would probably want to make these meals more often. But like, there's like a pressure that comes with it whenever you have to skip a day because you have to, like, you're going out to eat with your friends, you're like gonna go see your parents or whatever, and like you can't cook that night, and then the whole rhythm is thrown off, and now you've got like this extra buildup of food. Yeah. And you're like, well, do I cook it? Do I, like, what the fuck do I do?
Well, you just cook all of it at once and then put the other, like, the stuff in Tupperware and just eat them, like, day by day.
Yeah, just freeze it, I guess, maybe? I don't know.
Like, okay, so I'm gonna be real depressing for a second.
Oh, hell yeah.
So, like, like we said, it's a first world problem. I'm not a rich boy. I don't have money. I'm fine. I'm not fine with my state of being. You know, we live in a shitty. I don't want to say shitty house. It's just not a house that anyone else would want to live in. Like, if I was to be like, switch me, they'd probably be like, oh no, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a house that like, despite your family's best efforts, like it's really difficult to maintain, and it's to a point where you cannot maintain it anymore.
Yeah, but we can't go anywhere else. We own this land, whatever. And this goes back to, we're saving money to go on a vacation. I never get discouraged when I see, like, YouTubers and people and stuff online going on vacation and doing these extravagant things. I'm like, I don't know those people. Whatever. Good for them. But it really... and I don't mean this, like, towards you or anything. I mean... You worked really hard, and so have all our friends, to do what you can do, to go wherever y'all can go. But for me, I am a little jelly every time I see, like, some of our friends are just like, look at this extravagant place that we've been to, or look at these, like, cool things that we do, and yeah. I do get discouraged because I'm like, man, that's an experience or a place that me or my family will never get to do because we live paycheck by paycheck. And that's not to come down on you because, like, you have been in a position of privilege to, go to college and better yourself, or, get diagnosed to better yourself to fix your mental health problems and whatnot, where I have never been, or my family has never been in a position to do any of that. We never had the amount of money to want to go on a vacation outside of Texas. We've driven to places like Houston and San Antonio, but, like, we've known people, or, like, we'll get a hotel room for a night, or we know someone that we could stay with. But we've never just been like, hey, family, let's just take a week off and go to this, like, luxurious resort, or let's go to this big family place, or let's, just fly somewhere and do like this really fun thing. It's just, whenever I see someone doing that, I'm just like, well, I'll never do that. And, I don't know. That's where kind of like the beef Wellington thing came in, because as much as I'd like to do it and try it, I'll probably never have a beef Wellington. I'm not going to say in my life, because I may, but I'd have to go to some luxurious restaurant that has it on its menu. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's why I said I'm going to get depressing for a minute, because, like, as much fun as I like to joke about stuff and be a little edgy, I am a little sad boy on the inside, because then I will see all the stuff and have my fun, but then when everyone's said and done and no one's talking anymore and I'm alone with my thoughts, I'm like, man, I'll never get to do that.
Yeah, so there's a couple of things in there that I wanna call out. So number one, so what I was gonna say is, like, I haven't worked harder than you for what I have. I just got lucky.
Yeah.
And I started from a place where where my parents had enough money to allow me to do what I'm doing. And what I was going to say, like, I don't work harder than you. I know that I work harder than you, but that's only because at your job, you literally sleep and watch anime. So, like,
you don't do anything.
Yeah, correct. There's a ton of people that, like, live paycheck to paycheck and, like, work their asses off. And, like, the difference between them and me is, like, my parents had the money to send me to college and not, like, give me any student loan debt. And I was afforded the opportunity to be able to try computer science and enjoy it and sort of pursue this career that I had, and, like, know that I had a safety net where if I went to college and things didn't work out, I didn't enjoy studying or whatever, I wouldn't be saddled with like $50,000 worth of debt.
Dude,
right?
Yeah, that's my thing. I don't retain knowledge. I don't retain like knowledge, like learned like that. Like sometimes I do, but like sometimes I don't. That's why I was bad at school.
Yeah, well, like even if you even if you had the opportunity to like go and you had like the interest to figure out like, oh, I want to see if I can do computer science, and then you get into it and then you spend a year trying to do it, and it's not like, especially at a 4-year college, you're like, oh, well, shit, I actually don't want to do this. Good luck. Your whole fucking like financial career is ruined for 10 years because like you have to take out a loan to go do that, and it's like an extremely expensive mistake to make. It's not very appealing to want to go do.
Yeah.
So like the fact that I do what I do and that like it's super highly valued is pretty lucky.
Well, yeah, but
and I was able to do that because my parents had money.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wasn't like saying it as like a slight against you.
Oh yeah, I know. I more mean like you did mention like, oh yeah, I know that like you work hard for like what you have, and then you went to.
Well, you did. Like,
yeah, kind of.
You did. I mean,
I kind of did.
You had to like pay attention in school, and you had to like actually like do good on tests and stuff. Like, so, and you had to learn like a lot of things. So to me, that's working hard. I mean,
a lot of it does also come back though to like, because America has a lot of systemic problems that like that evolve as that like manifest themselves many, many years later in extremely different ways. And sort of like the two largest examples are like, right, institutional racism, which is like a pretty easy one. But the other one is healthcare. So whenever you're young, imagine you and your family are like somebody, like a teacher says to your parents, she says like, oh yeah, he's just not paying attention in school. He's just drawing all the time. You may want to go get him tested for ADD, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what it was called at the time. I imagine that your parents hear that and your parents go, well, I mean, we do have health insurance, but it costs money to do that. And then if he does have it, we have to like, do this medication for him all this time. Like, and who knows like what the effects of that are. And there's not like a good way to look it up. We don't have a lot of resources. So like like that one decision to like, if that was a thing that happened, that one decision to not do that could have affected basically everything. Right. Yeah. So if you had been diagnosed at like 8 years old, and then you had the ability to, from that point onward, like, oh, now I know how to focus. Now I'm like able to like focus on my schoolwork, and I can like do hobbies, and I can excel in school, and I can like turn schoolwork into a game that's fun enough that I can focus on it, right? Yeah. Then like you could have made the larger grades. You could have like had like a sort of shown more potential, and then even if later on you're like, oh yeah, I definitely want to go to college for whatever reason, like you have good enough grades and your financial situation is such that like FAFSA may have taken care of a lot of stuff, or you could have gotten a full rate scholarship, like, and everything sort of stems out from like the hesitancy to seek medical care. And it's because medical care is extremely expensive in America, and that's opening a can of worms, right? Yeah. So it's very much along the lines of whenever you see an immediate problem and then you identify how much money that problem is going to cost you over the next like 10 or 20 years, you're like, I'm not going to get into that. I'm not even going to try to solve it. I'm just going to tell my kid, hey, fucking do better.
Dude, that was almost certainly the case, because I remember like back in the day, like my parents, when ADD was like becoming like a big issue, I know they had it on like TV. Like I think I remember like my dad being like, oh, my son's just a kid. Kids don't pay attention, so he's normal.
Yeah.
And to me, that made sense. Because why else wouldn't it? And I never questioned it after that until I got older, and I'm like, yeah, that wasn't it though. Just and it's a lot worse now. And
yeah, and I mean, the other thing is, like, again, the institutional racism part is like, how many times? Because I don't know about you, like we've talked about this previously, but like for me, again, unless I see that a thing is an option, it may as well never exist, right? The fact that I didn't know that you could buy snow cone syrup, that like, yeah, all of this sort of ties into like, I didn't know it was a possibility. It's sometimes hard whenever you're a kid to identify that like you have options and things that you can do, even if like if TV is telling you, oh yeah, you can do anything, you can be an astronaut, you can be a doctor or whatever. If you don't see the option of like, oh yeah, you can be a programmer, you can did you know that electricians make a lot of money? Did you know like that there are these like various career options, and not seeing that representation of like people that are like you, if whether it's like lower income or like race or second generation American, like any of those things, like just that little piece of knowledge that you don't have can like alter things enough that like, oh, it could be that like when I was 10, if I knew that programming was a thing and that like programmers could get paid money and like you could make games and you could like do all this cool stuff with it, maybe I would have been interested enough to like start like baby's first programming language, or like try to take it in high school or whatever.
Yeah.
And so like it's all of this sort of just comes together, you know?
Well, that was a thing for me, because like when I was younger, I did have that like gotcha, like I want to do this when I'm older. So when I was younger, I very much wanted to be a movie star. I wanted to be an actor, because movies, TV shows, and the like were big for me, because like it was always like a big event, get with the family, eat in front of the TV and watch these movies, or go to my friend's house and we're going to watch a movie. To me, actors were like the end all be all, not because of what they were like making, but because of like how much people like revered them, like for being such a good actor. Oh, this guy's a good actor. This is a good movie. They're gonna this, and I wanted that when I was a kid, and my parents knew that. But as I got older, and that's why I went into theater when I went to high school. But as I got older, it started to drift further and further away. The more
Mm-hmm.
that I learned how much you have to put into it to begin,
Yeah.
and I didn't have a means to just go to California. I didn't have money. I didn't. I It just kept drifting and drifting until finally I was just like, that's not going to be a thing for me, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't have another option,
Yeah.
and so I'm just kind of set myself up for mediocrity because I
Yeah.
just
I
yeah
mean, the one of the easiest examples of this. This is sort of like one of those darling stories where you're like, oh, this guy pulled himself up by his bootstraps. Now look where he is. Is Shia LaBeouf.
yeah
So he at 10 started performing stand-up comedy. So he would like go to clubs and do open mics, and he had like, a bunch of like, really raunchy material as like a 10-year-old kid. So like that was part of his appeal. And then at some point he found an agent to like get booked on gigs and stuff by calling the agent and pretending to be his own manager and being like, oh, I got this kid you got to look at. He's great. His name's Shia LaBeouf. And so like he calls to do that, and then like it sort of starts snowballing from there,
yeah
right? Like then he gets Even Stevens, and all of this sort of starts evolving. It keeps going with it keeps going up to like after Even Stevens, he's like in movies and stuff, and even to build up to there, it's like you have to be in the right place, you have to be at the right time, you have to like
yeah
find the right people. If you take it back even further to the first thing, do you think your parents would have driven you? Number one, Corpus doesn't even have very many comedy
yeah.
clubs. I think there's one, maybe two. Do you think your parents would have driven you to do open mic at a comedy club when you were 10?
My dad might have. My
Yeah, he might have. True.
Honestly, if I showed, because all I told them is like I want to be an actor, like in horror movies, or I want to be, on TV shows. If there was like even a sliver of a chance that I could probably get noticed at, say, a comedy club, or there was like people there, if he thought I had like good material and I showed him, because I was always very like insecure about talking to him about this because my dad was a big sports guy.
Yeah.
He would have, if he knew that it was like my fucking pining dream. He would have driven me to like a comedy club, or because Corpus doesn't really have casting calls for anything, he would have like driven me there. And even if I wasn't good, he probably would have like driven me around if I asked him enough. And even if he didn't like it, he probably would have done it just because I showed interest in it. But the other thing is just there wasn't, because of where I was born and the place where we were, there wasn't many opportunities. It had to like wait until I got older and like made money. But as I got older, again, the opportunity just kept like slipping away because I didn't have the means for like to save up for a cross country, like I'm gonna go to Hollywood and I'm just gonna make it or fucking break it. I didn't know things because like the internet wasn't that much of a thing back then, and we never had a computer, like really. So I just kind of let that dream just slide. And now I'm as an adult, knowing that I have ADHD and I have the means to go get it checked out. It's just I don't have like sometimes I don't have the funds. Like I just had to fucking blow $300 today to fix my goddamn computer, and that took a hit to my fucking bank account. It's just sometimes I just don't I don't have the means, and it's very disheartening. And even though like I have my very supportive friends like you, and you're like, yeah, do it and stuff, and it encourages me, but then my brain's like, why do you think you can do this? Like it pulls me back. It's just
It's hard. There's so many things that are like deeply unfair about just being alive and the opportunities that you have as a result of where you were born and where you were born, the family that you were born into, and like this, as a result, the things that you want to do, like being an actor, being a doctor, like those things can be barred from you strictly because of just the sort of environment that you grew up in.
Yeah.
Not necessarily because of behavior, but mainly because of like money and location. And I mean, even imagine that like you lived in California.
Yeah.
And you were able to like go to auditions and stuff. Like the amount of times you would have to like go to different auditions and try to like do things with people when your parents are both working full time. Like who can take you to these interview or to these auditions? Like, how often is it going to work out for you? All of those things sort of like play in.
In my case, it would probably be my brother, or I probably would just bike there on my own.
Yeah, that's assuming that you live close enough to bike there.
Hey, I don't live close enough to Portland. I did that.
15 miles is not much. LA is very, very, very big.
Dude, all I gotta do is catch the back of a trolley and let it take me.
You're thinking of San Francisco. That's different.
Hey, LA, get some trolleys so I can go back in time and catch a ride.
Yeah, LA. Stupid.
Dumbass. Well.
A lot of these things are just sort of one of those like unfair realities of being alive. And like I'm completely it's not helpful to like for me to feel guilty about like the things that I'm able to do and the position that I'm in.
Never feel guilty.
But like it's much more helpful to like be able to like help the people that I can accomplish what they want to do. So that's what I try.
I feel worse about making you feel guilty and you having to feel like this is like a pity help. Like I hate that feeling. Like, oh, it's just this is pity, and I never feel that from you. I even feel bad like that you even suggest that you want to like give me like even a few bucks to help me out. I'm just like, come on, dude. Like I don't need that. And I always feel pitied, but like none of y'all I know pity me. It's just more of like, we got it, we can do it, and I still feel bad. But like, even when I received like a little gift, like when Jeremy gave me that toy, like I almost fucking broke out in tears. I was like, oh my god, fucking. I was like, I couldn't afford it, but he bought it for me. So yeah, like, it's just little things like that. Like, a little bit goes a long way. Even if you feel like you don't deserve some kindness, as long as it's not like pity, like it's not done in malice.
Yeah, I'm right there with you because it's hard to want to. It's hard to be okay with accepting help, and it's also hard to like not read that into a situation whenever you're like, I know where I'm at, I know where you're at, and despite the fact that we've been friends for so long, if I were an outsider looking at this situation, I know what this looks like, and it's hard to put that out of your brain.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Like, if someone that didn't know us, like, saw, and they're just like, oh, I see what's going on. It's a pity friendship, and he's taking advantage of him. Or taking advantage of the kindness, and like that's the furthest thing that I want to do. And yeah, that's why like if I see stuff in like Discord, I'm just like, well, I can't afford that. Like I never want people to be like, oh, we got you, here's $2K from all of us so you can go on this one extravagant trip, which honestly would be really fun to go on a group trip with my friends. But then I always feel guilty, like even if y'all did do that, because y'all, I would never allow that. I would never allow that. I would feel guilty about my mom and sister, because my mom has never gone on like such a. I'd be like, just pay for my mom to go. I don't want to go, because she in her life she'll have to work until the day she dies. Like, because there's no way she's retiring. If I was to fall into some money, I would literally just to give my mom like the trip of like that she's always wanted. Just I'd be like, let's take a month and we'll go to all the places that you've always wanted to go, and I want you to see and do the things that you wanted to do. And even if it's like not like super big as like y'all would think, not like you, but like the people would think. She's like, well, I just want to go and walk around in like Las Vegas, or I want to go walk on the beach in Hawaii, or I just want to take a cruise. Like, it's not like mind shattering. It's just very like mundane little vacation spots.
Yeah, it's just like, I want to go to a different place.
Exactly, which we're not really afforded in life. And my mom's already come to terms, and she's fine with it. And my sister, I don't think she cares either way. So it's just me that sits here and at night, in the dark, I'm just like, man, what is my life? I
what am I doing?
Yeah, what am I doing? I'm like, I want to do so many things, but and then you get in your own head, and you're like, no, but I can't, and you pull yourself back into depression.
Yeah, it's it's things are really unfair.
Yeah.
And especially like even offering help is like, or even offering like, oh yeah, we should go and do this thing, and you're like, well, I don't really have the money, and I'm like, well, I could like pay for you to do that, and you're like, oh god, it's time to spiral about that for a while.
Yeah, no, it's I'm like, no, and you're like, yes, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, you're like, why are we still here? Just to suffer my arm and my leg every night.
You have to tell yourself that you're fine, but you're not really fine. Just... Oh my god. I don't want to end the show on a depressing note, but that's what we're ending it on.
Yeah. Yeah. You should whatever platform you're listening to us on, which we are on all of them, rate us on it.
Thumbs up.
Give us a comment.
All thumbs, all stars. Leave a comment. Tell us why you're depressed. Or tell us...
Tell us where you want to go if you weren't doomed to mediocrity.
Yeah, tell us what your dream vacation is if you had enough money to fucking do it. And then tell us what...
The more mundane, the better.
Exactly. And then tell us what your dream Fortnite skin is.
Yeah!
Tell us who you want to dab on those haters with. Fucking, oh my god. Yeah, we're also on YouTube and TikTok, so please go and follow and subscribe. And I'm not saying make this podcast big. I'm just saying make it decent, so that way we can have that G Gundam 24-hour stream.
Yeah. The G Gundam 24-hour stream is like the current dream. Like the actual dream is Fee and his family get to go on a vacation because of all the cool stuff that because of all the money that we earn just by doing this podcast. But the current dream is me and Fee get locked inside of a room and we do a 24-hour live stream of just us watching G Gundam.
The sending my family on vacation is just a byproduct of getting popular. That's not even my dream for this show. My dream for this show is our merchandise is Pogs. I just want the Pogs. I just fuck. Is that so much to ask?
Come on.
We could have the Go Getter Slammer. We could have the we could have the Star Wars fucking what's his name Slammer.
George Lucas Slammer.
Slammer. We could. No, I was gonna say we could have the Ben Shapiro Slammer. No, he's a regular pog, and you get to slam him. He is to be slammed. He's not the slammy.
Yes, correct. He's slamming no one, as is very indicative by his reading of Wet Ass Pussy. Very good.
Oh, fuck. All right, bye.
Oh, damn. Just that?
I don't know. I mean, what do you want me to fucking Tequila Gundam to go? Fucking.
Did you forget how our outro goes? Here, I will do it.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot.
So I want you.
Oh shit! I fucking forgot our outro.
You forgot everything.
I forgot everything.
Okay, so I want you to take all of the ingredients inside of your fridge. I want you to put them together inside of a bowl and mix in a bunch of Jell-O, and then put it in the fridge and present it to your next door neighbor and call it a Southern delicacy.
Go get him!
Go get him!
Dude, you were sitting on that. That was too fucking. That was too rehearsed. You were sitting on that.
You ended everything so abruptly that I was like, I don't know what is happening. Whose show is this?
I'm sorry. Like for a brief minute, in my head, I was like, okay, we already did all that.
Yeah, it's done.
I thought we already fucking. I thought we rolled the outro already.
Oh, you know what? I'm gonna play the intro and then I'm gonna just start the outro music and loop it for the whole 2 hours of this podcast.
You better fucking not. You motherfucker.
Why's the outro music playing, huh? Huh?
This is God. We just started. Son of a bitch.